Disaster is everyone's business because when a disaster hits, it does not discriminate. The young and the old stand to be affected. Today, children are at the forefront, providing key input in how Belize can improve its disaster risk reduction practices and policies.
One of the things that I feel like children face is like, let's say their house gets floods out. Like, okay, they have their textbooks in there and stuff like that. The resources that they had are no longer there because it was damaged from the disaster. And then there isn't always resources that they can get it back. So for example, okay, the uniform get damaged and they only have one, and then like they have to wear this uniform again and again and again. And then when they go to school, people, yeah, exactly. So I feel like that would be one of the things that they don't have the supplies.
Brielle Goff, a student at E.P. York High School, provided us with real examples of how children are impacted by disasters and the importance of reducing these vulnerabilities. She was able to voice her concerns at the National Emergency Management Organization's first ever Disaster Risk Reduction Youth Forum.
The importance of having the youth building the framework for resiliency is a must as we continue as a country to conquer the issues associated with climate change. And so the new approach to disaster risk management is to ensuring that we have an all-inclusive approach to ensuring that we have a resilient nation. The goal is to ensure that young persons are aware that they have a role to play in disaster. Disaster is all of our business. Ensuring that they are actively involved in your local communities, that you are part of the plans, the programs, that you are part of your family hurricane plan or family hazard plans.
The University of Belize's Environmental Club was also a participant in today's discussion. Their interest is geared towards reducing the risks faced by our natural environment in a disaster event.
Whenever we talk about disasters, we have to take the environment into consideration. Obviously, let's say we have a hurricane coming. It's not just us, our human lives and our infrastructure that gets damaged, but also you have to think about all the biodiversity present, for example, in protected areas. All of those are getting affected as well. A lot of times we have many species dying. Even if we take into consideration, like for example, down south when all the forest fires are happening, thousands of species of animals died, and a lot of them, it's detrimental.
UNICEF Belize's participation in this event is also crucial. As Jenna Hoare, the emergency officer at UNICEF Belize indicated, 1 billion children globally lives in disaster-prone environments.
What we understand and what we see on the ground is youth and children are among the most vulnerable group within disaster situations. And so this is why it's so important that we start from very early on to educate young persons on key concepts when we talk about disaster risk reduction and disaster risk management. They play a very pivotal role throughout our country. They have innovative ideas. I remember talking to one of the young persons earlier, and they highlighted that how can we use AI to advance early warning systems. So young persons play a very critical role.
We have something to say too, because then we're in this generation, like what they said, I was a teenager once too, like what the adults say these days, I was a teenager once too. Well, now we're the teenagers of this generation. So the millennials could gossip because it's a Gen Z time, So that's why we have something to say, because then we can relate to it, because this is our generation. We can act on it like AI. My granny don't know how to use AI. My mom, the other day, I had to show she how to scan the network. You know what I say?
At the government level, Minister of Disaster Risk Management, Andre Perez, says the most important policy at this time is building resilience.
Well, of course, this is what we are saying here, building resilience. We have to learn. We have to cope with this. We can't change things now. We have to better prepare ourselves, preventing that we are prepared whenever these things are coming. That's important, and that is what is being highlighted, and henceforth carrying the message to the youth.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.